All right, y'all. So your boy is back once again with another live stream. I know I did not plan on streaming today, but I decided to say, why the hell not? So I want to talk to y'all, man. Okay, because as y'all know, there's been a lot of talk about the Batman Part Two, and why everybody believes it is not going to happen. Now, in my personal opinion, why I believe this movie will not happen is because with James Gunn, I honestly believe he is looking to, you know, he's looking to have his own Batman in his own universe. Obviously, Matt Reeves does not want excuse me. Obviously, Matt Reeves does not want, um, his Batman, Robert Pattinson, in the DCU. And there's just been a lot of negative talk about what's going to happen with this Batman. And I honestly believe that it's not going to happen because we've been waiting this long for it. And like I said in my video, 5 years between a movie is way too long. 5 years between a movie is way too long. So if you ask me, do I think we're going to get this Batman movie? I don't think so. I think it's dead in the water. I think it is game over. I don't think it's going to happen. As much as I would like to be wrong about this, I just feel like it's dead in the water. We're not getting this movie. I want to be wrong. I really do. But I just don't see the Batman 2 happening simply because um, James Gunn wants to focus on his universe. So I believe we're going to get a new actor. I mean, it looks like they're already looking for somebody as is. I don't know what the big buff dude's name is. He started in the TV show that Tom Cruise started in the movie, but he wants to play Batman in the DCU. So I 100% believe that we're not going to get the Batman 2. It's just going to end, and somebody else is going to take up the mantle in James Gunn's, DCU. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks, but it is what it is. As much as I would like to be wrong about it, I don't think I am. But I hope I am. I really do. But I, from what I've seen, I guess Clayface was supposed to be the next villain in the DC Batman movie, but then for whatever reason, James Gunn decided, nope, I'm just gonna take him and use him for my own movie, sometime within the next 2 to 3 years, which I think is really stupid because nobody is really asking for a Clayface movie. This is one of those things where I think he's just throwing stuff at the walls and seeing what sticks. And so it's disappointing, man. It really is. I want this Batman movie to come out. I want to see it be good, but 5 years between movies is too long. James Gunn is already hard at work at his own universe. This is the reason I do not believe the Batman 2 is going to see the light of day. Y'all can definitely leave me in the comment section. What do y'all think about it? Okay, let me see. It says, I don't like James Gunn. He wrote, okay. Yeah, it's a lot of people that seems to have issues with James Gunn's past tweets. And honestly, I can't hate on that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how David Zaslav looked past that. I don't know how Marvel looked past that. But somehow, some way, they looked past it and they gave this man a job. So I don't understand why they did that at all. But you know, it is what it is. But he's the guy running things over at DC, and I said it in the video. I believe he's gonna dog walk the um DC news down with Batman until it gets canceled. Or Matt Reeves is like, fuck it. I'm just, I don't have any interest. I can't write a script. Nothing is seeming to come out right. Him and James Gunn can't get on the same page. Whatever the reason, James Gunn is going to dog walk this down. Eventually, I believe there's going to be an announcement, maybe by the end of this year, that we're not getting this movie. I just feel like it's too much of a wait for us to, it's too much of a wait. 5 years, too long. This movie should have came out now. This movie should already be out now. You know what I'm saying? So That's what I believe. We're not getting this movie. And anybody coming in, please hit the like button. Um, what else? I'm trying to, I'm trying to stay positive with this whole DC universe thing, but it's difficult, man. It really is. Um, Superman with the ugly suit. The crypto dog looks okay. I wish it was actual crypto dog from what we've seen in the, you know, the animated movies and different things like that. I wish it was that crypto dog. You know what I'm saying? I know James Gunn is taking some personal stuff from his life, whatever, and such as this dog, and he's put it into the movie. But I would have loved to see the actual crypto dog we've all come to know and see from the cartoons. You know what I'm saying? But this is a James Gunn thing, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Um, but as far as like moving forward, I just want to see better marketing from Warner Brothers when it comes to this movie because all we've seen is it be marketed as a crypto movie, which absolutely makes 0 cents. 0 cents. I don't understand what James Gunn is doing. The movie is called Superman, not crypto, so he should be having Superman be the front and center at everything. I mean, CinemaCon is just one thing. It's gonna take more than CinemaCon to get fans interested in this property. And I think by now I should have gave us another trailer instead of just dropping an extended clip of Superman being dragged into the Fortress of Solitude, which I think he knew, by the way. Either way it go, it would have got people talking, so maybe that's why he dropped it. But we need, in my opinion, we need more than just what James Gunn gave us. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I things ain't really looking too good when it comes to the fans. When it comes to this new Superman film, I feel like it's a mixed bag. Where some people are saying they want to see it, some people are saying that it looks too goofy. The robots look too goofy. A lot of people have been comparing it to Man of Steel, like how you get these technological advanced robots in Man of Steel, and then you got these goofy looking robots in James Gunn Superman. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope everybody else is wrong, and I hope this movie knocks it out of the park. Um, I do have to agree that some parts of the trailer did feel like a priority film. Maybe it's just the lighting or something. I don't know. But when I look at it versus, just what we've got in the past, maybe because a lot of people have said that the colors in the Man of Steel and everything like that, they were like washed out with the Zack Snyder being the director, but with James Gunn being the director, everything is more like lit. It's a brighter color. It does have a different feel to it, but some parts of it did look and feel like a priority film. Yeah, what's going on, Derpy Entertainment? Just doing a little stream, man. I actually did not plan on streaming today. The reason I can't see me because I'm actually, switch things up a little bit, but decided to go ahead and stream anyway. I told myself I was gonna try and stream every Sunday, so I'm trying to stick to my word and do it every Sunday. So yeah, I'm just giving out my 2 cent on why I think the Batman is cooked. Why I think we're not getting it because of the simple fact that James Gunn is, I think he's gonna dog walk the mess out of this, and he's gonna dog walk the mess out of this. He's gonna eventually announce it. So I believe sometime by the end of the year that we are not getting this Batman 2. That Robert Pattinson has jumped ship over to Doom. Because if y'all saw the news, I posted it. A lot of people posted it that he is most likely jumping over to the second, the next Dune movie. So, look, I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy he's still getting work. I'm sure he probably looked over at what is going on with Mahershala Ali and Blade and said, "Oh hell no, I ain't going through that. I'm getting something else as soon as I possibly can." And how in the world could he not get a bigger offer than jumping on a Dune project? This is interesting. Derpy Entertainment. I didn't want a part two. You know what, man? I kind of feel you on that. I kind of feel you on that. In a small way, after we got the first film, I didn't want to see a part two either because I didn't know how they were going to top the first film, which I thought was really good. Now, I made the mistake of going to see that first movie at the last damn showing, so I didn't get out to like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. My fault. But it was a really good movie. I love the trailer. I still watch it to this day all the time. But I do agree. In some small way, I did not want to get a part two. But, it's just my 2 cents. And let's see here. Derpy Entertainment says, I think it's dumb to have two Batmans. I agree with you 100%. I agree 100%. My thing is, um, you know, James Gunn is going to do what James is going to do. But yeah, I do think it's stupid for us to have two Batman, especially for people who not hardcore into the news. They won't, excuse me, they won't know. You know what I'm saying? Why we got two Batman? Casual fans won't know why we got two Batman. So I do agree that we should not have two Batman running around the DCU. There should just be one, and that is it. But James Gunn is gonna do what he does, what he feels best is for his DC property. But if we get this film, I don't know who's gonna be the next big bad. Again, if we get this film, I think it could be Victor Freeze. But it depends on how they play this movie off, with it being so far away. Or are they going to fast forward it 5 years after the events of the first film? Or will they continue on as if nothing happened? There's no time jump, and we're just going to play this off like it's the second, film after the first one, just like super close. I think that I think they should just go ahead and do a time skip because it wouldn't make sense for a movie 5 years later to have kind of the events take place after the first one. It just doesn't make sense to me, in my opinion. Um, Giant 1995 says, "Yeah, bugging." Let's go here. Jerpy Entertainment says, and I like Pattinson's take. It's just I'm interested more in Gunn's take with Damien. Yeah, I would love to see what they would do with the Damian Wayne. I think that would be really cool. Um, I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, I think that they should probably let go of the idea of us having two Batman running around. So they should probably, if James Gunn feel like it's gonna add some confusion, then maybe they shouldn't give us the Batman part two. But I feel like if it's gonna take 5 years for us to get, man, maybe they shouldn't. That's why I believe it's not happening. Because James Gunn is gonna do what James Gunn want to do with his own properties. Anybody coming in, please hit that like button for me, please. It really helps to help the channel. And let's see here. Derpy Entertainment says, I mean, if anybody's bugging, you support the Giants. Just saying. Okay. No idea what that's about, but all right, let's keep it going. So yeah, I feel like they gotta get somewhere. They gotta get this news off the ground with Batman. They got to. You know, either we getting it or we not getting it. I feel like it's too much of a wait for us to get some concrete news. James Gunn got to come out and tell us, like, look, we got a good script. Matt Reeves got his good script, and he's giving us this movie because what we've been getting so far has not been good news. And I want to be excited. I want to be interested, but it is difficult as hell when all the news we have been getting has been straight negative. This is why I keep saying we're not getting this movie. There's another YouTuber I watch. I forgot his name, but he spends a lot of time talking the mess about James Gunn. I think his last name was Fisher or something like that. But he spends a lot of time talking about James Gunn, and he gave his reasons of why he thinks the movie's not happening. My 2 cent, it ain't gonna happen because James Gunn is gonna do what he wants to do. He's gonna give us his own Batman in the DC universe. I believe he came out and said I don't think he's even messing with um, Matt Reeves and his Batman over there, but I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. And I don't think that the old regime at Warner Brothers believed that this movie was going to be this successful. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? And Derpy's back again. He says Giancarlo Esposito was talking. Yeah, yes. Was talking to be Mr. Freeze, but it fell through. Oh, one of them is Brainiac. For real, I ain't gonna lie. I think he'll make a cool Victor Freeze. I think he would be a cool Victor Freeze. I don't know who to pick to play that role, as long as they don't bring back Arnold Schwarzenegger. Let's see here. DJ Dax comes in and says, "I hated the Bat." He says, "I hated the Batman for real. I like that movie, man." He says, shit, I'm saying, she says shit was trash in his opinion. Honestly, man, I liked it. I thought it was cool. It was fun to watch. It was super long. There was some parts I could have lived without, but I enjoyed the movie for the most part from top to bottom. Um, like I said, I want to see a sequel to it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Um, Sometimes a one-off movie can be a good thing, but when it comes to superhero films, sometimes it's difficult just for the simple fact that there's other big bads that you want to see these characters go up against. Obviously, they had the clip with the Joker in the movie, so obviously that was something else that they were reaching for, they were working towards. I believe the old regime wanted to plan a whole universe around this Batman. It's the reason they were going to do a similar story to the Gotham TV show, where they was going to have a show something about the cops. And then what else do we have? You also have the Penguin TV show. So they look like they're going to plan a whole universe, but this was all before James Gunn came in, derailed everything. So yeah, God only knows what's going to happen. And let's see here. What happened in it that was honestly, man, I like the fight scenes in it, especially at the end. I liked Robert Pattinson's take his acting of the Batman, but the fight scene and stuff that happened at the end I thought was cool. I just liked the whole movie from start to finish. He also says, "Help me, maybe I just didn't see it." Man, I don't know which Batman he was watching. Maybe one of the old ones from the '90s, man. But I really enjoyed this one. Let's see. He also comes in to say everything seemed mid. For real, man, you need to go back and watch that movie again, man. It's worth watching. All right, it's worth checking out. It's worth checking out. But like I said, I'm worried about this whole DC universe because it's it's a bunch of stuff that James Gunn is putting out there, but none of it seems to connect. Similar to how we got with Marvel, which I understand this ain't Marvel, this is DC, but it's a bunch of different projects that are just being thrown to the wall. And I want to have faith that what he has planned is going to work out. But it doesn't make any sense because he's even releasing a Teen Titans movie. Who's going to be the leader? If they already got a Robin over here and Damian Wayne, does that mean he's going to have old Nightwing be the leader over there of the Teen Titans? Who's gonna make up the squad? You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, I want to believe what James Gunn is doing is going to work out, but it is difficult to have faith in what this man is doing when it seems like a lot of the projects he has releasing or coming out are random. I've seen some on-set photos of the Supergirl. I really couldn't give you my opinion on that because it was like it was you could see her, but you couldn't see her clearly. She was standing there in front of a tank. So it's gonna be interesting to see, all these movies that James Gunn makes, and hopefully they're good ones. Because, like I said, right now it feels like a bunch of random projects that he is throwing out there, and it is just making it harder and harder to have faith in what he is doing. That's just my 2 cents. That's just my 2 cents. But like I said, when it comes to the Batman 2, I don't think we're getting it. The Superman movie, a lot of fans are divided. Some fans like the clip. Some fans think it's gonna be good. Some fans don't like the clip. Some fans don't think the movie is gonna be any good. I don't like the suit. I don't have a problem with the actor. I really don't know anything about David Cornswell because I never seen him in anything. If I have, maybe I missed it. Yeah. I didn't know anything about him before this whole before he was announced to become the new Man of Steel. I know a lot of people out there are still saying they should have just brought back Henry Cavill and maybe James Gunn should have just rebuilt the DC house around Henry Cavill and gave us Man of Steel 2 and I believe Man of Steel 3. I believe if we would have got those movies, they would have done great numbers at the box office simply because it's Henry freaking Cavill. That's the only guy we've all been asking for. Now, I know he did make an appearance at the end of Black Adam, but it's like nobody was really checking for Black Adam movie. And then obviously everything else that was happening in the DCEU just didn't work out, and James Gunn decided to move forward with his own thing. So I ain't gonna lie. Every time I see a Henry Cavill clip or Justice Superman, I always miss seeing him. Because I went back and I looked at the first Man of Steel trailer and I was looking at it compared to this new Superman trailer, and it's like apples to oranges. You can't really compare the two. When you look at what's going on with this new Superman trailer, it has a lot going on. It's not just Superman. You got Mr. Terrific. You got this huge, bat dragon looking creature. You got a Green Lantern in here. You got a Hawk Girl in here. There's so much going on with this new Superman in this trailer. A lot of people are asking, is this even still a Superman movie anymore? Or is James Gunn getting away from it being Superman and it turning into something else? Like almost like a Justice League but with B-list characters. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like people gotta have the faith that the movie is gonna be good. Huge difference between what I'm saying about this and what I'm saying about the Batman. This movie is already done. It's been shot. It's scheduled to come out. The Batman ain't got legs yet. Ain't Matt Reeves ain't started directing, ain't started filming. They ain't got no set pieces, nothing. Huge difference. That's the reason I say it's not going to happen. Versus where I'm hoping the Superman movie is going to be good, but like I said, the marketing for it has been terrible. It's actually starting to make me wonder: did David Zaslav make the right move in hiring him to be the head of DC? Or at least maybe James Gunn should have passed the baton to let somebody else direct this movie instead of him. That's just my 2 cents. Maybe he should let somebody else take the reins and direct this movie. Because everything revolves around him. If he messes up and this movie tanks at the box office, he's gonna hear it from everybody. So I hope that he has some lighthearted moments in this, but also has some serious moments because I just don't see this. I don't know what to make of this. Just off what I've seen, it's a lot of lightheartedness, but not enough seriousness that I've seen. There's a lot of people posting about it, talking about how good it's gonna be, but I need to see it for myself. James Gunn was one that came out and praised the Flash movie. So how the hell would anybody expect him to believe anything he says when it comes to this Superman movie? You understand what I'm saying? See, Dax also said, "Bro, I'm the first to say they were sabotaging DC with Marvel plants." Let me see. He also says, "Don't forget, bro. I told you first 2 years ago. Possibly so, man. Possibly so. I can't remember exactly when." He also says, "And I was the first to tell you it was gonna be goofy." Yeah, man. I don't mind if it has a little goofiness in it, but if it's too damn goofy, then that's where it's gonna be a problem. Because you can't have a Superman movie be too damn goofy and not have it be serious. You got Lex Luthor trying to take this man out, so you gotta have some serious moments in it. I know he's getting into a fight in the middle of the stadium versus whoever the man in black is. You got the soldiers shooting at Mr. Terrific. You got the people around this building that are throwing cans at Superman's head. So it is like it has some serious moments in it. It is a brighter colored universe, obviously, compared to what we've seen in the past. But I just need to see another trailer. I need to get more details about this movie. Honestly, at this point, I'm just ready to see it. I know we got like another let's see, what is it, 3 months, you know what I'm saying, and counting to see this movie. I just want the Superman movie to be good. For whatever reason, if it ain't, fans are gonna lose it. The media is gonna lose it. Who knows how James Gunn's gonna have to pivot because it's like he's in a similar situation that Zack Snyder was in, where he did the Man of Steel years ago. It started the DCEU, and now here we are again, so many years later with the DCU. So James Gunn got to knock this out the park. But I believe everything he's doing in some kind of way is his own little pet projects. Because if it was me, I would have gave Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, like the big superheroes first. I would have gave the big superheroes first, and then gave the B-listers second, just for the simple fact that they're more well known. Everybody knows who Batman and Superman is. Wonder Woman obviously some about the Green Lanterns, but I would have gave y'all these heroes first, and then built the universe around them with everybody else. So I'm, a little off as to why James Gunn gave us some of these B-listers first. But a lot of people are coming out saying that they believe that he's doing this as a way to, do his own little pet projects. Because he gave us Peacemaker starring John Cena. You know what I'm saying? I like John Cena. Been a fan of John Cena since, he was a wrestler way back in his Dr. Thugonomics days, back in the early 2000s, since I was in high school. But nobody really asked for a Peacemaker show, but obviously I guess it's turned out good because it gave us a season 2. But I'm just wondering, like I said, about this whole Batman situation and the DC Universe situation. Who's going to be Batman in the DCU? I don't believe it's going to be Robert Pattinson. I don't believe we're going to get the Batman 2 is dead in the water. As much as I would like to see a second film, and as especially thought after the first one that we're going to get a second one soon because of the fact that it did $1 billion. So James Gunn, you got to step it up, my dude. The marketing for Superman has got to revolve around Superman. Get some news out there, some concrete news about the Batman. Honestly, I will not believe anything James Gunn says if it came down to the Batman 2, unless I hear or I read it's already started filming. I don't care if he says we got a script, unless he comes out and says the movie has started filming. I ain't trying to hear nothing else because of the simple fact that we've been waiting this long and it's been all talk. You know what I'm saying? Matt Reeves ain't got a script yet. It's been all talk. So the fans need some concrete news on what's going to happen with the Batman going forward. And as far as Superman is concerned, we all just better hope and pray this movie is going to be a good film. I ain't saying it's got to do $1 billion, but we got to hope it's going to be a great film. Anybody coming in, please hit the like button. Thank you for joining today. I didn't plan on streaming, but I was like, you know what? Why not? Let me go ahead and do this anyway. I'm trying to get my streams in as much as I possibly can every week. So thank you all for joining. Hit that like button. Again, we're talking about why the Batman 2 is not happening, and we're also talking about the DC Universe. We got Lancers coming up. We got the Batman movie. Supergirl has begun being shot wherever it is on a location. So James Gunn is getting the ball rolling on this DC Universe. But it just feels like it's a bunch of mixed projects that he's throwing out there, and it's leaving some fans worried and divided. Some fans are out here talking about, he's not the guy to lead the new DCU because, you know, of some old tweets that he had. To each his own. Some fans are saying that he's not the guy to lead the new DCU because, he's obviously putting out his own pet projects. Some people, honestly, scratch that. I don't think there's anybody out there that actually believes in James Gunn's vision. Not one person. Yeah, what up, Jules? Yeah, there's not one person out there that honestly, in my opinion, I think believes in James Gunn. I was shocked when I found out that he was going to be the guy to take on being the head of DC because he had been the guy over at Marvel for so long. But it is what it is. It is what it is. He's the guy. I ain't not saying I'm trusting James Gunn, but I have no choice but to sit back and hope that he knows what he's doing because we can't afford to wait another 10 to 15 years with these DC properties before we see, anything else. Like DC fans can't wait another 10 years. We already went through a whole another, we just went through what, 10, 15 years of bad DC with the DCU and the old regime throwing stuff at the wall trying to see what stuck and nothing stuck. Hardly anything stuck. They didn't know what to do with Superman. I don't see how James Gunn couldn't have crafted a new Superman movie around Henry Cavill, but obviously it's like a sports team. When you get a new coach, you get a new store owner, not store owner, but team owner. Obviously they want to switch things up and they want to do things differently than what the old team did. So they're gonna get a new quarterback to come in. That's basically Superman. They got a new quarterback and they get a whole new team. That's what James Gunn did. He's a general manager. He's got a whole new team revolving around Superman in this DCU character. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does things. Angel Negret comes in. I disagree. There are many people. Excuse me. There's many people love his vision. Um, I haven't really seen a lot of people who love the vision, who want to see what he is going to bring to life. I hope I am wrong, and I hope that all this support online translates to support in the theaters. That's the biggest thing, because everybody can go online and talk all day about supporting this movie and watch the trailers a bunch of times, but we need to see that support in the theaters. I do hope I'm wrong, and I hope that he is getting some type of support out there for this DC universe, because from what I've seen, it ain't been looking good. Let me see. Nah, bro, the owner wouldn't let a new hire fire a superstar player. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But, obviously, that's what happened. James Gunn said he didn't get hired for the new position, and they went and got somebody else. Would I love to see, of course, Henry Cavill star in a new Superman movie? Of course I would. I don't think we're going to get anything translated from DC over to Netflix. I don't think that's going to happen. It's like fans are still putting hope into that Elseworld project that I don't think it's going to happen, just so they could be like, well, see, this is why your Superman didn't work out. This is why you should have kept Henry Cavill. That's what I think that's all about, period. Let me see. Comes in and says, DJ Dex, no one lives shit about JG. Knock it off. Comes in and says, sabotage. Angel Negret says, which are three actors you would want as the DC Batman? You know what? I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. The only one I can honestly see off the top of my head, I think would fit just because of the build, is the guy from, hold on one second. You know what? I cannot think of his name. The only guy I could think of is there's a movie that Tom Cruise starred in. Hold on, give me one second. I gotta look this up because I gotta think about it. All right, so the only person I can honestly think of, I just had to look this up, is Alan Richardson, the guy currently playing Jack Reacher. I've seen, just photos. I've never seen the show, but I've seen photos, and the dude looks like he's big and buff enough to play a believable Batman. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he just dyed a hair black or whatever. I believe he would possibly be the best pick to play a DC Batman. But that's the only one I can think of. Yes, Reacher. Yes, exactly. Yes, I think he would be the best pick to play Batman. I think he has the look. I've never heard him talk. I gotta see a clip or something to hear his voice. But I believe he would be the best guy to play the DC Batman. If his voice ain't deep enough, get one of them voice modifiers like they got Ben Affleck in his Batman. When he was starring in Superman versus Batman, give him like some type of voice modifier to make his voice sound deep. But I believe he'd be the best pick to play Batman in the DCU. And he wants to play it. He said he would do it. You don't even need to pay him for it. You don't even need to pay him for it. So that's my pick for who I believe should be the next Batman in the DCU. But when it comes to the current Batman and Robert Pattinson, 5 years is too long, like I said. We ain't getting that movie. I think the ship has already sailed. I just think whatever's going on behind the scenes, we'll truly never get the whole story. But I believe that you can stick a fork in it. It's done. You can stick a fork in it. Let me see. Angel Negret says, I think Scott Atkins would be a badass Batman. Look him up. I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely do that. All right, so I did just look him up just a little bit. Look like he's been in some ass kicking movies. He's a little bit older than Richardson. Richardson's 42. Atkins is 48. So I know James Gunn is probably going to have somebody a little bit younger, so they can lock him into the role for the next 5 or 10 years. But old enough to, if he has a kid, it's believable. You know what I'm saying? So that's interesting. It'll be interesting to see. Let's see here. Angel Negret says, "What about for the DCU Joker?" You know what? Hey, there's nobody alive I can think of that could be a good Joker. I can't even think of anybody out there who would play a good Joker. You know what I'm saying? Um, uh, Jack Nicholson was a great Joker back then. He actually had to grow me. I didn't really like his Joker at first, but the more I watched him, the more I liked him. Obviously, the Joker we got in the Batman movie, was it the second one that came out? I think somewhere in like between 2005 and 2008. Um, uh, Hold on one second, 'cause I keep forgetting all these actors' names. Heath Ledger. Yeah, Heath Ledger. Excuse me. I keep forgetting everybody's name. Heath Ledger. I thought he was a great Joker. As far as you could play a current Joker, now there's nobody at the top of my list. Nobody I can think of. Let's see here. And DJ Jax says, complete the sabotage. This dude is funny, man. I gotta give a big shout out to DJ Dax, man. This dude has literally been around since the very beginning. I believe probably since one of my first videos, man. So big shout out, man. Thanks for sticking around. But like I said, I'm hoping this DC works out. It's hard to look at and have faith in what James Gunn has been throwing out there, because why is he giving us a Teen Titans movie? Why is he giving us a Clayface movie? Is he like trying to drag it out so that Matt Reeves will be like, you know what? I can't come up with a script. Me and James Gunn can't get on the same page. The movie is canceled. Obviously, like I said, when you look at what's going on with Robert Pattinson, he's already moved on, possibly to the Doom franchise. So, things just ain't looking good when it comes to this new Batman as far as part two. But it seems like people are wanting to jump on it. Like you said, Esposito wants to play Victor Freeze, but I don't know if that's in the Batman part two, or does he want to play that villain in the DCU, which wouldn't make sense because they ain't even got a Batman yet. So it'd have to be in part two. So I would like to see that, unless they can find somebody else. But James Gunn has got to knock it out the park, man, because we as DC fans need to win. I'm a fan of both Marvel and DC. I'm not one against the other. But I want to see DC light a fire under Marvel's ass and be like, you know what? We are back. We are stronger than ever. But it's getting harder to see that every day with what is taking place over there with this new Superman movie and all the clips that's been released, the lack of marketing that we've had, um, things going on with the Batman. Obviously, we don't know what's going on with that. So it's been hard. And a lot of fans have been, you know, questioning what is going on. Obviously, I'm sure y'all saw the clips of Superman Henry Cavill smacking around um, David Cornsweat's Superman as the clip of him getting jumped on by Crypto, which has been actually pretty funny. And it's been, you know, Henry Cavill Superman, they had that clip going on. Now they got the Batman, um, Ben Affleck's Batman doing it. So it's funny to see, man. It really is. It's been funny to watch that clip. But yeah, it's been hard having faith in this because, at least lately, because of everything we've been seeing with the marketing or lack of, and like I said, a lot of people have been saying they've been doing their own research, and there's not really a concrete story to this new Superman film. It's basically like a bunch of little stories of how is Lex Luthor going to stop Superman. That's basically what it is, or what people are saying it is. Lex Luthor is trying to come up with some type of way to stop Superman, and it's like almost if you take a bunch of Superman episodes and you put them all into a movie, and it's not just one big plot; it's multiple plots in this whole movie. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's crazy, but by now I'm just ready to see the movie. I probably won't be able to get there open tonight. Unfortunately, I'll probably have to wait until I probably have to wait probably until the weekend. But now that I think about it, it is a summer movie, so my kids will be out of school. So I possibly will be able to get there opening night. I'm gonna try and get there at the earliest showing so I can see it, so nothing is spoiled. Because in this day and age, it is hard to stay in the dark when it comes to these type of films. Everything out there is getting spoiled. You know what I'm saying? So, Superman. Do y'all think it's going to be a hit? Do y'all have any faith in what James Gunn is doing? Batman. Do y'all think the ship is already sailed? Do y'all think we're going to get it? Let me know in the comment section. Because I'm having a hard time just having faith in what we are getting. I still don't understand why we got a Clayface movie and he ain't even announced the Batman yet. I can understand why he wouldn't want to have two Batman running around, but still, it just seems a little confusing as to why Clayface would get announced. Then, of course, you got the Teen Titans. Like, it's a bunch of random projects that feels like he's just throwing out there to see what is going to work in his new DC universe. And it's not hard, at least in my opinion. I feel like fans can write a better story. Look at what Marvel did. They gave us the big superheroes first before they gave us the big team up. It ain't no different than him doing the same thing with DC. I know it's copying in a small way because you obviously using the big heroes as well. But think about it. These are different stories that you're telling. This ain't the same exact hero. Superman is not Iron Man. Wonder Woman is not Thor. You're telling, you kind of following the footsteps, but putting your own spin on it with using Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and the Flash, giving them their own movie, their own time to shine, and then put the big fight out there with Darkseid or Brainiac or whoever you want to use. I don't know what James Gunn got planned with all these B-list characters. Like I said, a lot of people are saying that he is putting out his own pet projects instead of really out there, instead of putting out there what the fans really want to see. As far as the Lanterns project go, who knows? I don't know what to really say about it. From what I've seen very little about it, it does interest me. It's like a cop detective kind of thing going on, which takes place on Earth. It interests me. But as far as, everything else, I'm not all that interested. I did read that we are supposed to get a cameo appearance by Supergirl in the new Superman film. I guess that's cool. Hopefully her movie will be good. I didn't really get into the TV show Supergirl, so hopefully the movie is gonna be good. But like I said, James Gunn gotta knock this stuff out the park because fans need to win, fans deserve a win. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all y'all stopping by, hanging out with me during this live stream. Like I said, it was an unplanned live stream. I was actually gonna take the day off, but I actually decided to say forget it and just do a live stream anyway. Give me 1 second. But yeah, I decided to go ahead and just do a stream anyway. Just because I told myself I was going to stream every single week. And so yeah, it's been a little it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of work. But thank you all for joining. So that's what's going on when it comes to the DC side. On the flip side, when it comes to Marvel, there was some recent news made by the new Sue Storm. I don't know what the chick's name is, but the new Sue Storm. I just know she started in that movie with the spinoff from the Fast and the Furious with The Rock and Jason Statham. The new Sue Storm. She made some interesting comments about some gender politics. Uh, when it comes to her character, there was also some stuff I read online about how some of the characters, when it comes to the Fantastic Four, are going to be tweaked a little bit. So I'm like, okay, this is different. You know what I'm saying? They're going to tweak the characters over here just a little bit. And I guess in some weird way, they're trying to make them fit this new, this new current age. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Johnny Storm's character, he's not going to be like the womanizing character he was in the past. It seems like they're going to tone his character down just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Is when they start taking real world things and they start putting it into movies, that's where you start getting the fans turning on the movies because of the simple fact that we want to be excited. We want to be excited about these properties. But how can we be excited if y'all keep trying to take real world situations, put them in the movies? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense if you're gonna take real world situations and put them in the movies. You understand what I'm saying? We go to the movies as an escape. We go to the movies to get away from um, all these different things. You understand? So it doesn't make sense as to why, you know, these studios keep trying to throw real world situations into movies. So I'm not gonna pretend like I know anything about gender politics, but that is what the new Sue Storm said that is gonna be tackled with her character. And it sounds like a lot of fans are already being knocked off by these comments. I'm gonna just try to keep an open mind when it comes to this movie and hope that it's gonna be something good. You understand? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. As far as the whole Doctor Doom situation, some people were saying that a possible picture going around is what well, not Tony, but Robert Downey Jr. his new look is gonna be like, and basically it looks terrible. It's like him in a regular suit with some tape around his, like he has a tape around his face. He almost looks like Hush, but in a green suit with like a jacket on. I don't know. It looks weird. It looks weird, and I hope that that's not how his character looks. A lot of people was saying he could possibly look like an almost Doctor Doom Iron Man type thing going on here, where it's a cross between Iron Man and Doctor Doom, which I think would be pretty cool as long as it's more Doctor Doom than Iron Man, because a lot of people would just look at Robert Downey Jr. playing an evil Iron Man than Doctor Doom. And there's still people saying there should have been something else higher for that role. You know? So it's gonna be interesting to see how that turns out. My biggest issue when it comes to the Marvel side currently, besides all the projects that they've had, some been good, some been terrible, is how is the road to this new Doctor Doom going to work? Because the road to each Avengers film that led to the Infinity War and Endgame, it was an exciting road to be on. You know what I'm saying? When you look at what's going on with this new Marvel road to Doctor Doom, there's really nothing to get excited about. You know what I'm saying? Because none of these projects really connect. At first, it was supposed to be He Who Remains. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to be, I forgot the last guy's name, but it's supposed to be He Who Remains. But then after Jonathan Majors got fired, they had to pivot towards a Doctor Doom storyline. And this is where I feel like things are, starting to go downhill even more because obviously you can't have, this exciting build up or just throw a movie out there without having an exciting build up. And some people are saying that the new Doctor Doom, Avengers movie feels rushed, and they're not wrong because it doesn't feel like there's any exciting build up to this movie. How am I supposed to get excited about it when it feels like the only movie that's going to be connected to it is Fantastic Four in some way? Everything else feels like it's just a single project. Whether it's the Thunderbolts, whether you got Ironheart coming out in the fall, nothing feels like it's going to be connected to this movie at all, and it does leave a lot of fans, disappointed. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thank you all for dropping by. Like I said, it was an unplanned live stream, but I'm grateful for everybody that stopped in. I'll definitely see y'all again next week. Catch you on my next one. Peace. I'm out.